Hi, hi from Groovy Entertainment. Today we got another book to read for you. Today book Donald Duck in American on Parade for 1975. So let's get started. Listen, said Donald Duck to his nephew. The band are playing. Here comes the big parade. Yippee, shouted Dewey Duck as the first float rode down Main Street at Walt Disney World. There's Christopher Columbus and the Pilgrims, said Huey. What a terrific turkey, exclaimed Louie. This is a super celebration. It was a super celebration, a celebration of America's 200 years birthday. Dino and the boys saw George Washington and Betsy Ross and Benjamin Franklin and many other people who helped make our country great. We saw the whole we saw the whole story of America, said Dewey, after the parade was over. It was a lot more fun than doing homework, Huey added, laughing. That reminds me, said Donald Duck. You hadn't done your history lesson. Huey and Dewey and Louie, you have homework to do too. That night, the little that night the three little ducks grumbled, sighed, and groaned a bit, but they did finally open their school books. Dewey and Louie soon finished what they had to do, but Huey was just too tired to keep his eyes on his history books. Soon he was sound asleep and dreaming. And what a dream it was! Just as they had watched America birthday parade together that afternoon, now in the dream they were standing in a row on a sunny beach, watching three ships sail in. Those ships, Dewey pointed. I know those ships. The Nita, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. It's Columbus, exclaimed Louis. We are going to see Columbus discover America. Hardly was the word out of his mouth when the ships dropped anchor. Columbus and his brave crew lowered boats and rowed to the shore. But wait, the boys saw that someone had been left behind on the Santa Maria. Huey peered through a spyglass that he borrowed from a friendly sailor. What did he see? Those Sabby, Sabby the Duck was his Uncle Donald. That's our cabin boy, explained the sailor. He forgot to put salt in the captain porters, so we won't let him help us discover this new land. That part isn't in our history book, said Louis. It wasn't in the parade either. Suddenly Columbus and his men were gone. Now the boy found himself in New England. They were helping the Pilgrims celebrate the first Thanksgiving Day. What could be more nicer, Huey thought, than to share in the turkey and cranberry and corn on the cob and pumpkin pie? But the pilgrim wasn't feasting. One pilgrim, who looked very much like Donald Duck, was sitting in the stock where folks was misbehaving. For folks who misbehave would put as punishment. He was supposed to help with the harvest, a woman told the boys, but he ran off and hid in the woods and said, No turkey for him. Oh, there, said Huey, and he blinked. At once, the pilgrim disappeared, and who did the turkey? And and so did the turkey. Now the three little ducks were standing on a Cabot street in a crowd of ladies in silk gowns, and German in powder wigs and velvet coats. I see Benjamin Franklin, said Dewey, and Thomas Jefferson, explained Louis. What year is this? Wondered Huey. It's 1776, and said a young woman who was watching a band of soldiers march past. Then it's our country birthday year. Course, the boys. What city are we in? Philadelphia, of course, said the young woman. We have the Declaration of Independence now, and soon someone would ring the Liberty Bell. She was right. The boys heard the bell sound from the tower of Independence Hall. It rang softly at first, then louder. Then, above the ringing of the bell, the boy heard a familiar voice quacking with terror. Who was it? It was Donald Duck, the bell ringer. He had been swept off his feet by the mighty bell, and bobbing a wildless and bobbing wildly up and down at the end of the bell rope. Before the boys could hardly get a ladder and rescue their uncle, the dream changed again. This time they was on a great prairie, and trains of covered wagons were rumbling by. Wow, said Huey. They are just like the ones in the parade. Look there, Dewey pointed at a dragon tail figure running after the wagon train, shouting and waving. There's Uncle Donald. Hey, Mr. Wagon Master, you left Uncle Donald behind. I sure did, said the wagon master. That silly duck let the campfire go out twice last night. Can't hold up projects for the likes of him. Again, the dream changed. Huey found himself with his brother floating down the Mississippi on a raft. I feel like Tom Sawyer, uh, crowd Louie, and I see a riverboat around the bend. Uh-huh, said Huey. There's a key boat too, and Uncle Donald was right in the path of the steamboat. Uncle Donald, watch out, Dewey shrieked. Quite, said Donald. Can't you see I'm busy? A second later, the prow of the steamboat crashed into Donald's craft. Then Donald was busy indeed. He was swimming for dear life. Then, in another second, the riverboat had vanished. Now the boys was in a little western town of long ago. They were being adjusted by a noise. A excited crowd. Here comes the Pony Express rider, said a bearded miner who stood near Louis. He crossed the wilderness to bring the mail to us. Hooray, shouted the people as the horse and the rider galloped down the street. It's Uncle Donald, said Huey, and this time he's a hero finder. Was Donald a hero? Perhaps he had crossed miles of wilderness all along in at top speed, but he had also forgot to put the mail pouch in his saddlebag. He hadn't bought anyone in town so much as a fancy picture postcard. What will Uncle Donald do wrong next? Huey wondered. Then he found out he and his brother was in a school, a little old-fashioned school, where the boys and girls used chalk and slate instead of pencils and paper. Donald Duck was standing in the corner of the classroom, and he had his face to the wall. Why is he standing in the corner? Whispered Huey to one of the schoolboys. Because he doesn't know his history lesson, the boy answered. Why doesn't he know it? Demanded Huey. Even if he didn't study, he did see the Walt Disney World parade. Huey said this so loudly that he woke himself up. His brother chuckled as he blinked and looked around. Their Uncle Donald was stretched out on the sofa, sleeping soundly, and he looked very, very tired. Uncle Donald even sleepier than you are, said Louie. You better let him sleep, said Dewey. And I better not dream any more, said Huey. Uncle Donald looked as if he had been through enough history for one day. So that was Donald Duck in America on Parade for 1975. So if you like, subscribe, share, and comment, have a groovy day. We have another video coming out real soon.